I'm Vanessa with Ellie Mac, and today we're going to be talking about tops and jeans. And no, we're not going to be sewing up jeans, but we're going to be talking about the styles that you need to have in your wardrobe, as well as the tops that go perfect with them. Welcome to week 3. So as far as my wardrobe goes, this is the part where I'm struggling the most. And so I'm very excited about this week. I sewed up 7 tops. I'm going to be showing you all the jean styles that I like to go along with them. Now, you don't need to sew up all these tops. Look through your closet. I'm going to be dividing them into subcategories, and you can decide what is going to work best for you. I'm also going to be going over fabric. What types of fabric, how to test them, and then which patterns to use if your fabric is behaving like mine. And finally, I'm going to show you some hacks to go along with some of these amazing patterns. So without further ado, let's get started. The first category is sweatshirts. Now they say you just need one of these, and sweatshirts is not something I wear a ton of. So what I decided to do was pick 2 patterns that are all season packed with so many options that I could definitely use them throughout the year. So I picked the Oversized Tee, and I also picked the Bridgette Dolman. Let me show you some tips and tricks with these, as well as what jeans I am pairing them with.
With all my years of sewing, I've learned you really need to test your fabric. So I go on the stretchy side of my fabric, not the salvage, and I just sew, and I want to see if there's ripples. If there's ripples, I know that this fabric's not going to be great for bands, because with more added layers, the rippling's going to get worse. Now, I had yet to make a V-neck, so I was really excited about this Bridget Dolman. I was also really excited about that little stitch in the ditch along the front. I love any time I can add a little extra detail. That stitch in the ditch also helped me with my V-neck so I could have an easier placement. So you're going to chalk in the triangle, and then you're going to just sew the triangle on the edge with your neckband facing right sides together. And then once you get that triangle in, you're going to snip it and open up those edges, ironing it down to create your V-neck. And then you're going to be basting about an inch V-neck on both sides of your V-neck, and then you're going to snip in the center. That way it's going to help the fabric hold, and then you can just use pins to attach it regularly. Now, Ellie Mac has the best V-neck instructions. So after you baste in your V-neck, and then you can just finish it at the serger like a regular top. I'm not going to go into too much depth because I did a lot of that in the other video with the 5 fitted, and I wanted to make this a little fast going. So here's how the top turned out. I wanted a little shorter sleeves because this is a white top and I cook a lot. And then with the capsule, they say you need to have 1 pair of colored jeans. And so these are the ones I had already in my closet, and I think they're fun, and it's really cute with this Bridget Dolman. So first off, this is the Oversized Tee with some Walmart bundle that has terrible stretch. So I'm actually cutting the hood neckband at the highest option for the front, and that's going to help me quite a bit. I'm also wanting to add the elastic detail, but I did this a little bit longer. I really wanted this hoodie to have just some fun details, so I definitely decided that the elastic would be the right option for me to give it a little bit more structure, but keep me warm when I am being a soccer mom. So I chose a little softer elastic because, again, it's around my waist, and so I used this, they call it dance elastic, but it's really nice in these types of areas, and I decided to go with a 1-inch elastic. So here I'm just closing that up. And then I actually do not like when my elastic rolls like everybody else. So I actually went down the seams on both sides after the elastic was stretched evenly, so I wouldn't have any rolled up elastic in my hoodie. And this is how adorable that looks. And here it is on, and this hoodie is so cute. I love how it comes up. Now these are the wide leg jeans that they say that you need to have, and they actually are very popular, but they're also very comfortable.
For my second category is sweater knits, and this is one of my favorite things. I love sweaters, but sometimes knits can be tricky. So I want to show you as much knit fabric as I possibly can so you can kind of learn how to deal with it. The first one I did was a Kristen Criss-Cross, but I wanted to have a built-in shirt with this and an added lace detail. The next one is one of my favorite trends, and Diana started this first 3 years ago, and I did the same hack where you shorten the Chapman, add buttons to it, and then you don't add the buttonholes. You sew the buttons through and you wear it as a shirt. So I'm going to show you both of those next.
Now, when you have a curved hem, you definitely want to test the curve on your fabric. So I just always take the edge of my fabric and I just do a little curved serge just to see if it's going to be nice and flat or if it's going to have rolls. Now, this is the front panel of my top and it's on the fold with right sides together. But then for the back panel that I'm adding, I'm just going to cut the shoulder seams and then the length of it the same as the front top, and then I'm just going to come up just a little bit on the side. These are going to be reference points because I'm going to bring on the back panel that has the crisscross petals with it, and you're going to see it's going to help me know that the neckline's a little higher and the sleeve is a little longer than the front panel. So this is just a great way to have your sleeves line up. Now, after I've hemmed the curved hem of the back, I'm going to baste it along the neckband and the shoulders with right sides up, just so it acts as one single piece of fabric. Now, with my petals up, I'm actually going to add some lace along the bottom. I'm just clipping it on here. And then for the front, I'm going to add the band first and then the lace and clip everything together. And this is just so when the band flips down, you're going to have that cute little lace detail, and it's going to make this cohesive design between the back of the shirt and then the front. And I just think it's just adorable. It just looks like you're wearing a laced undershirt underneath this beautiful sweater. So after I serge the front, I'm going to be serging the back panel. And as you can see here, my side seams are actually opened. And this is just so each panel I can serge this on, and then I'll just be closing up the side seams right here. But you want to make sure that the lace is lined up. And then I'm just serging across the shoulder seams, and then I'm serging down the sides right here. And this is how it turned out with the beautiful sleeves and neckband, and you can see that little lace detail. And look how nice that fabric lays flat. I love this. Now the pants I'm wearing are boyfriend jeans, and they say to have these ones as well. So the maroon, I want it to be ultra cropped, so I'm taking 6 inches off from the waist top. Now for the band, I want to actually stretch this band on. So you can see it's at 19.5 inches. So I decided taking 3 inches off each side. So if it's on fold, it's going to be 6 inches total. So I moved over my measuring board, and I'm going to actually cut it at 16 inches long. Now the sleeve, I'm going to do the Felicity because I wanted to have a really cute wide sleeve on this maroon one. The black one I did the normal sleeves on, but now here is where the difference is I'm stretching on that band. And then you're going to do the neck band all the way down past because you're going to be adding buttons. So to finish up those edges, you're just going to be taking that neckband at the edge and putting right sides together and serging down. Once you have that serged, you're just going to clip your threads, and then you can flip it in back, right sides out, and then attach your band like normal. When you have a band that is stretched on, it can kind of pull at the buttons, and so that's why I wanted this to go all the way down so I could add a little extra button a little bit further down. Now I did all the same with the black, except the black one, I only cut 4 inches off, and here I'm measuring the buttons every 2.5 inches. And then you're just going to sew the button through both of those bands that went all the way around the neck. This fabric is pretty, as you can see, see-through and a little bit loose, so I couldn't add any facing to this to add the actual buttonholes, but I also wanted to wear it as a shirt, so I decided it did not need buttonholes. So here's the black one with this, the right sleeves, and as you can see, it's so adorable. I just love this top. It's so cute. So these are some retro jeans that I have with this, and they're one that I think were really popular last year, but I really like them. And then with the maroon one, I actually only did 3 buttons, and I'm wearing it with some straight leg jeans, and right about now all the jeans are looking very similar to me.
So for my final category, it is regular long sleeve shirts, and I chose 2 of my favorite long sleeve patterns, the Sarah White sleeve as well as the Fall in Love. I did do a little hacking where I shortened this Fall in Love, and then I actually used a sweater fabric that had a lot of ripples in making the Sarah White sleeve. So let's get to it.
So remember this ripply fabric? This is how we're going to use it. It doesn't make the fabric unusable if you have the ripples. I'm just going to show you how to help you. Now, usually if you have the ripples, it's going to be rolling. And so I have a very long, thin zigzag stitch, and you're just going to go along the edge of your neckband, but you're not going to be stretching it. You're just trying to get those edges together, and then you can clip it on just like normal, and you're just going to quarter it just like normal. Now when you're hemming these, you want to also, if it has the ripples, you want to make sure your tension is low and your stitch length is as long as possible. So here I'm just adding on the neckband and I'm just stretching it, and you can see how that little stitch along the edge keeps it from rolling up. This is just a great way to use fabric that would normally just be a little more difficult. It's just nice hacks to get through it because this fabric is so soft, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I did cut the sleeves and I absolutely love it. And I just think it drapes so well. It even draped right into the back of my belt. And these are some flare jeans that I think goes over really nice most shoes. All right, and up next is the Fall in Love, and I love this one because it's a sweater that has amazing shape. But since my torso is short and my rise is a little bit long, I'm cutting a lot off of all my shirts. And so this one I'm cutting off 2 inches to make sure that it's sitting at my waistbands for most of my pants. So you're seeing me cut a lot of the shirts, and that's the reason why. And then the back has a sway back that offers even more shape, so it takes the fabric that's would come down from your shoulders and just lay flat and bring it in when it hits your waist to your hips. And this is how my Fall in Love turned out, and I think it's a perfect length. Now here are my skinny jeans tucked in boots, and I've realized you only need 2 pairs of jeans, some to tuck in your boots and some that go on the outside of your boots. Your choice.
So, final thoughts. Oh my goodness. Trying on all these clothes is a lot harder than sewing. But I do feel like I went to the mall and I got a whole new outfits, and I'm very excited about that. Even with all my old jeans, they felt like they got a little new life breathed into them. Now, talking about that, I don't believe that you need to spend a lot of money on your clothes. So I only spend about $10, and I even got 1 pair of jeans for free in all these jeans you saw today. And I've been collecting them throughout the years. As far as fabric goes, I shopped a 50% off sale, and I got 50 yards for like $255 from Boho Fabrics. It came in 2 weeks, and this is what the majority of the fabrics I am sewing, but some are coming from my stash. But that is the cap that I have on this wardrobe. And I'm actually making more clothes than you need to. So this is not going to be a huge wallet buster if you try to do some of these things. So I hope you give it a try. I've been enjoying this so much and learning so much about my own personal style. As always, thank you so much for watching. A like, subscribe, comment which was your favorite outfit, and as well, have a wonderful day.